Alright, let's start by looking at what comes in the kit and the main tools that you will need. You'll need a straight edge screwdriver and an adjustable wrench. The parts that come in the kit are the clock feet, clock face, clock lens, AA battery, the clock works, hour hand, minute hand, nut, acorn nut, two 1-inch 2 half-inch long 632 screws and 3 1-inch long 632 screws and 3 spacers. The clock feet from the manufacturing process have this little bit of brass extending out the end. You may want to snap that off and sand the stub down. The clock face has gone through one cleaning from the manufacturing process, but it is coated with a thin film of oil, and there are very small aluminum chips on them. When those chips get into your skin like splinters, they can be a bit painful. I'd recommend washing this off with soap and water, being careful not to get any chips in your skin. The clock lens from the laser cutting process may have material in the holes. That's easy to just poke out. So the first thing you'll want to do in assembling the clock is put the works in the back. There's the recess in the back. The works are radially symmetrical. You can put them in any orientation. The clock will work just fine. I like to put them with the battery closest to the 6 on the clock face. Then take the nut, and there are barely enough threads there to get some thread engagement with that nut. Go ahead and tighten the nut down finger tight. And then with a wrench, you can very lightly snug that. All right, now the hour hand goes on, and it presses onto this plastic collar. Then the minute hand goes on, and it engages with this metal here, so that that oblong shape requires it to point in the right direction. Then the acorn nut goes on the end, holding the minute hand on. I think it makes more sense to put the hands on with the aluminum side up than with black paint up, but you can put them on as you like, and you may have to adjust the hands a little bit to get them to work. I'm going to set the clock face down and then take one of these spacers and one of the 1-inch screws, put the 1-inch screw through the lens, put the spacer on the back side of it, and just lightly thread that in. I don't want to thread it in all the way and tighten it yet. I want to make sure I have all three of the 1-inch screws in place before I tighten any one of them down. Alright, all three of those are in place. I can just gently tighten those down. You'll notice I'm not grabbing the screwdriver and applying a lot of torque because that will certainly crack the acrylic. And now I can put the feet on. Take one of the 1/2-inch screws, put it in the hole, and thread that screw into the foot. Take another 1/2-inch screw, fasten on the other foot. There's an assembled clock, and the last stage is last step, put the battery in. That's a bit of a tight fit.